Welcome to Part 2. In Part 1, we learned what compound interest is and why starting early matters so much. Now let's talk about the practical stuff. How do you actually make this happen? Where do you put your money? And what are the risks? Let's dive in. Okay, so how do you actually buy a stock? You can't just walk into a store and buy a share of Apple. You need something called a brokerage account. A brokerage is like a bank, but for stocks. You put money in, and then you can use that money to buy shares of companies. As a kid, you can't open an investment account by yourself. You have to be 18 for that. But your parent or guardian can open what's called a custodial account. That's an account they manage, but the money inside belongs to you. There are two main types. First, a custodial brokerage account. Your parent opens it, you both pick investments together, and when you turn 18 or 21, the account becomes fully yours. Second, if you're 13 or older, some brokerages like Fidelity let you open a youth account where you can actually make trades yourself, with your parent supervising. It's like training wheels for real investing. Popular options include Fidelity Youth Account, Schwab, Vanguard, or Greenlight, so you've got your account set up. Now what do you buy? Here's my advice. Start with companies you know and understand. Do you use an iPhone? Maybe Apple. Do you love Disney movies? Maybe Disney. When you own stock, you want to understand what they do and why people buy from them. But here's an even better option for beginners. Index funds. An index fund is like buying a sample platter instead of picking one dish. Instead of betting on one company, you own a tiny piece of hundreds of companies all at once. The most popular index fund tracks the S&P 500. That's the 500 biggest companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Disney, Nike, they're all in there. One purchase and you own a piece of all of them. When you hear people say, the stock market returned 10% per year on average, they're talking about the S&P 500. So, when you buy an S&P 500 index fund, you're getting that average. If you're not sure where to start, ask your parents about an S&P 500 index fund. One popular one is called VOO. That's Vanguard's S&P 500 fund. Just buying that one thing gives you a piece of the 500 biggest American companies. If you don't know which individual stock to pick, an index fund is the safest bet. You get that 10% average growth we talked about in Part 1. Now let's talk about risk. Because stocks aren't guaranteed to make money. Risk. 1. You can lose money. If you buy a stock and the company does badly, your stock goes down in value. You could lose some or all of your money. That's why you never invest money you need soon. Only invest money from your save jar that you won't need for years. Risk 2. The market goes up and down. Some years, the stock market goes up 15 or 20%. Some years, it goes down 10 or 20%. In 2022, the stock market dropped almost 20%. If you had $1,000 invested, it felt like you lost $200. A lot of people panicked and sold, but the people who held on. Over the next 2 years, the market came roaring back. Their $1,000 was worth more than ever. This has happened over and over throughout history. In 2008, the market crashed almost 40%. People were terrified. But if you invested $1,000 at the very worst moment of the 2008 crash and just held it, by today that $1,000 would be worth over $8,000. The key is time. If you invest for 5, 10, 20 years, the ups and downs average out. You end up with that 10% average growth. But if you need your money next month, stocks are risky. Don't invest money you'll need soon. One more thing. Once you invest, don't check the price every day. Seriously, the stock market goes up and down constantly. If you check every day, you'll stress yourself out over normal ups and downs. Check once a month. Remember, this is long-term money. Let it grow. Here's your challenge. Talk to your parents about opening a custodial investment account. Show them Part 1 and Part 2 of this video if it helps. Then decide. Do you want to invest in one specific company you love? Or do you want to start with an index fund? There's no wrong answer. Both are great learning experiences. Start with whatever amount you can, even $25 or $50. The amount doesn't matter as much as starting. Then watch it. See how it goes up and down. Learn how the stock market works by actually being in it. This is your first real investment. This is where compound interest from part 1 really starts to work its magic. In the next video, we're going to talk about something completely different. Why free video games actually cost more money than games you pay for. It's a trap most kids fall into, and I'm going to show you how to avoid it. If you're ready to start investing, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what would be your first stock purchase? See you in the next one.